This look fine? All right. It's pretty zoomed in. Oh! I had this diffuser up here, clamped on, but apparently it didn't like the clamp. So, all right, so let's try that again. All right, what up, kids? So today we are going into another street photography vlog. So last weekend I had a gig in Yokosuka, which is south of Tokyo. And so during the night while I was there, just wanted to get out and shoot the city area a little bit. However, there's a couple things that are different from my previous vlog. So I'm still using the Insta360 ONER as my like POV camera. But for my photo camera, I've actually gotten myself a Canon EOS R, not the R5, not the R6, and I might go into reasoning for that later on. But with this, I'm using the 85mm 1.8 EF lens. So 85mm is one of my favorite focal lengths that I've used so far, and that is mostly because of the balance between like the compression and the depth that it creates in the images compared to anything that's a little bit longer or the wider focal lengths as well. It's something that, I don't know, it just looks really nice. I just like the compression. It's like a good middle ground where everything's not too scrunched together, but rambling. Now, in my opinion, it's not the best street photography lens. It's a lot less versatile than the 18-35 that I normally use for pretty much everything. In this shoot, the streets were pretty wide, as you're about to see in the video. And that works out really well for something like this, I think. The tighter, narrower streets in Tokyo tend to be a little bit too narrow to get nice like street photos to pick people off from the other side of the street or to even to get close to them. Everything is just too scrunched together. But when you have a wide open area, that's where you have a lot more flexibility with this. Now, when it comes to portraits, I do like the narrower streets because it gives you those nice like leading lines into your subjects. But for now, I thought that where I was shooting was pretty ideal for something like this. So we are currently in Yokosuka, which is like south of Tokyo in Kanagawa Prefecture, and it is where one of the American bases, I think, is. So there's tons of Americans here. Hopefully you can hear me. This is coming through straight out of the audio out of the ONER. So right now what I'm doing here, I guess, is doing a live stream thing for this event, and tomorrow is like the last domestic, the nationals tournament day. And so setting that up, today was a rehearsal day, done with that now. It's like 10 p.m. and I don't know, these lights are pretty. I wanted to get a couple shots before I went to bed. So right now I'm using the 85mm 1.8 EF lens on this EOS R, and I definitely prefer this lens on full frame as opposed to on the crop sensor 80D. It's just, I don't know, to get all the width back, it's quite fantastic. I really like the depth that the 85 has and how it looks, but the one problem that I always had with the 80D was that it was just too cropped in. And I like having a little bit more room to play with. And I say it every single time, but I haven't shot in the city, in like an urban environment, in so long. I'm having a hard time finding cool compositions, cool stuff, just anything that really like interests me, you know? In terms of like these street photography like walks that I go on, I don't really go in with a game plan. I normally just start shooting and then something comes to me, whether it's like a theme that I want to shoot or it's a pattern that I'm noticing on the streets, and that's where I try to hone in and create some sort of sets of images. Instead of just shooting randomly, I think our brains just want there to be a pattern, to be some sort of cohesiveness. And so whenever I go out, whenever I see something that I want to lock onto, whether it's colors or it's types of people, that's where I start to just look for those specific things. With like urban photography, it's so easy to get stuck into just shooting things for the sake of shooting. Like, oh, that kind of looks cool, but I don't know, I always feel like whenever I try to shoot like a
street somewhere, just there's always something missing. I think it's the story element. So right now I'm trying to find people, like individuals that are just kind of lost doing their own thing, I guess. People who seem to be pondering, people who seem to be trying to figure something out. The one where the girl is looking at the bus tables, there's like a little story there. I don't know where she's going, but you know that she's looking to figure out when the next bus is coming, to figure out when she can get home or wherever she's heading off. Essentially what I'm looking for are photos with a clear story or like a clear subject. Just a person in the moment doing something. And I just think that fits like Friday nights better. I don't know, you see people in groups, you see people having fun all the time, but it's the people that are kind of alone by themselves in the city on these kind of nights where it makes you wonder, you know, what's up, what's going on? Like that photo a lot. That one though, no story, just fun composition. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here though. I've only bounced like 40 minutes, but I've actually, I think I've got some decent shots that I'm kind of curious to edit. They're not gonna be like Instagram banger type of things, but you know, it's, once you get out, you get like, get some ideas flowing, and today it was just finding people alone on the streets. Curious, you'll probably see them now, before I even get to edit them technically, I guess. But let me know if you enjoyed this, and we'll catch you wherever I go next.
So that's it for this video. I'm actually curious what you guys thought of the different people photographed in this video. If there are any stories that you think that you saw. It'd be interesting to see how each of us have different perspectives, or the same perspective, looking at the same image, the same setting. But let me know in the comments, is there anything that resonated with you? Is there anything that you saw was interesting? And we'll kind of go from there. All right, appreciate all of you. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Peace!